How did Jared Leto terrorize his co-stars with his obsessive method acting?
What was the question again?
Why did he almost die last year? What did he do during lockdown?
Get married.
And where the hell is his Oscar? Hi, I'm Arch, and let's get rolling. Do it all at once and then do a little more. It's no secret that Jared Leto is a badass jack of all trades. When he's not acting, he's playing music. When he's not directing or producing, he's writing songs. And before I even come close to how nuts he gets about films, let's talk about some of his other ambitions. When Leto started a band with his brother Shannon, people laughed at him. Since that day, 30 Seconds to Mars has gathered an army of fans around the globe, a pile of awards, countless tops of charts, platinum albums, and a couple of Guinness World Records for touring like crazy. So, who is laughing now?
I'm gonna dedicate this song to everybody over here.
The frontman of 30 Seconds to Mars sings, plays guitar, and writes most of the band's songs. Jared also makes their mind-blowing music videos, including one he did with the help of NASA. In his case, the sky is literally not the limit. Leto debuted as a director with the documentary Artifact about how 30 Seconds to Mars fought in court against the giant EMI over royalties, and won the war. He's filmed more documentaries about the band since then, as well as about personal demons, social damage, and environmental disasters. Not a big deal, right? Aside from all that, he launched huge companies like The Hive, Adventures in Wonderland, and Bird. And he invests in a bunch of stuff, and funds Reddit. And I gotta go and work on my self-esteem here. Is there anything he does not do? Don't rehearse and never watch your movies. Jared Leto doesn't watch his movies. He hasn't seen a single film he's acted in.
Hollywood knew, oh, this guy's lost his mind.
Analyzing his own performance gives him so much anxiety he can't even do his job right. So he never looks through playbacks on set either. And the tiny little part of any production process called shooting? Yeah. He doesn't like that either. Jared's favorite part is discovering the script, investigating the character, all that prep and research he's crazy about. But the actual performing bores the actor. Also, Jared Leto doesn't rehearse. He quit that useless waste of time about 10 years ago. He didn't even do it with the one and only Mr. Denzel Washington for The Little Things, which they both starred in. Leto explained he prepares so darn thoroughly for the role that he just has to show up on set and do his magic.
You know, I don't feel like my work is done until I know the character's favorite color.
Now, let's get down to the point where his freak flag unfolds and waves in all its glory. Obsess about method acting and play on the dark side. Anything Jared undertakes turns into obsession. But acting seems to have had the most of it as Leto goes into method fanatically.
Really
Preparing for Requiem for a Dream, Jared lived on the streets of New York City, refrained from having sex, and starved himself for several months, losing 28 pounds. For Chapter 27, Leto gained 67 pounds. The stress he put on his body gave him gout and forced him to use a wheelchair. For his most stunning act so far in Dallas Buyers Club, Leto lost 30 pounds, shaved his eyebrows, and waxed his entire body.
Oh, that was painful.
Was that the worst one?
No.
During filming, Leto refused to break the character, just like he did while playing Joker in Suicide Squad, not allowing anyone to call him Jared on set, only Mr. J. He played with his castmates as brutally as Joker would. Viola Davis remembers how he sent a henchman into rehearsal room.
And the henchman came in with a dead pig and plopped it on the table. And then he walked out.
So he's a very charming guy.
They also got used condoms and sex toys from him. Margot Robbie said that she received a live threat from her on-screen lover, though Jared denied it recently, stating he presented her with a cinnamon bun. Yeah, right. And Will Smith got the real bullets. Since Warner Brothers found Leto's portrayal of Joker, controversial, we had a break from him in Birds of Prey. But that's it, folks, cause Mr. J is back in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Have you already heard his line we've all been waiting for?
We live in a society where honor is a distant memory. Isn't that right, Batman?
We'll also see Jared Leto as Paolo Gucci, Andy Warhol, and Ares in the Throne follow-up. And personally, I can't wait to see him enter the MCU as Morbius. Ooh, this living vampire is gonna make you love him, want it or not. Knowing what a powerful method actor Leto is, the list of the characters he's taken on makes you cry. What were you thinking? I mean, when you dive so deep into a character that dark, aren't you afraid of damaging your mental health? Here's what Jared said about Albert Sparma from The Little Things.
He's certainly an outcast. He's a dark horse, black sheep, and I think I'm attracted to those characters, outsiders.
Can't blame the guy for the risks he takes, because one of those brought him an Oscar, which he just lost. Win an Oscar, lose an Oscar. Back in the days when Leo DiCaprio would kill for an Oscar, Jared Leto already had one. Earlier that day, Jared said,
"They don't give Oscars to people like me."
And a few hours later, he thanked his mom from the stage and sent his support to fighters for freedom in Ukraine and Venezuela. His performance of Requiem was truly groundbreaking, and the Academy Awards was justly deserved. And it was such an honor, right? And he just lost it. The statue was confirmed missing when the star moved to a new home in 2020 and didn't find the award among his belongings. It also came out that he hadn't actually seen it for nearly 3 years. Jared, come on! Seriously?
I hope it's in good hands wherever it is, but we haven't seen it for quite some time.
You'd better win another one and keep an eye on it. Since we've mentioned Leto's mother here, love your mom. When Jared was a little boy, his father said, "I'll see you, kid, just going to the store to get a carton of milk," and he never came back. He then started another family, and 8 years later, he took on his own life. Rough. Nevertheless, the kid grew into a pretty sympathetic and very successful man thanks to his mother, Constance. She saved her son's life, actually. See, in his teens, Jared was into substances.
What kind of stuff was this guy into?
Oh, let me tell you, as innocent as I may look there, I definitely had at least an ounce of weed in my system. I'm sure, and I would have sold you a dime bag or two.
The star would admit later that if it weren't for his mother, he could have ended up as a drug dealer, if he was even alive at all. Now, Leto attributes most of what he's become to her. Constance remains the major woman in Jared's life. Yup, this Apollo kinda sucks at love relationships. When he and Cameron Diaz split after 4 years together, Leto admitted he's too obsessed with his creative ambitions and his own goals to be a decent boyfriend.
I want to thank all the women I've been with and all the women who think they've been with me.
You can say whatever you want, Jared, but the internet has found out that you seem to have been hiding your girlfriend from us. There are rumors that the rock star has been in a relationship with a 26-year-old model, Valerie Kaufman, for years. Judging by the recent photos of the alleged on and off couple going for lunch with Leto's mom, the romance might be on for the moment. Till Jared's movie projects get back to active mode and probably get him all obsessed again. The guy is just in love with his work. Hard work.
When I'm asked, dream is work. And I always, in moments of despair and doubt and dark days, focus on the work. I show up and I work and I work and I work and I work.
To handle all he's got on his plate, Jared follows the ultimate rule. Work hard, rest well, and don't age. Step number 1. Disconnect. His sprawling $5 million Hollywood Hills compound and ex-military base is remote and secluded enough for the star to get away and recuperate. Oh, and he's not a party guy. He prefers intimacy with nature. Step number 2. Escape. He's so good at it that when the worldwide pandemic broke out, the actor totally missed out on that news because he was out on a silent meditation retreat. Bet he was surprised as hell when he returned from under his rock. Speaking of rocks, at almost 50, Jared recharges his batteries by climbing insane cliffs. He's been doing it for years, but just recently nearly died when dangling 600 feet in the air as his rope tore. When the Hollywood star escaped the danger, he just kept on like nothing happened and characterized the experience as a fun one. Wait, what? Step number 3, watch your health. Mr. J sleeps a lot. That's a big one for him. Also, he's a vegan. His pancakes are really something, by the way.
Vegan, pancakes, or death. Let's go. You gotta get in here a little bit for good luck, a little bit for bad luck.
Finally, the best way for Leto to rest is to work on something else. So, Jared Leto. Like when in 2020 all the movie projects paused and he self-isolated at his bunker home, he wrote about 100 songs. And I did 10 squats during quarantine, thank you very much. All these things obviously work well for Jared Leto, because the man doesn't age.
Holy sh...
by 10 years.
His forever young face reminds me of someone. No wonder he has started his own cult. Yeah, you heard me right. Another rule from Jared Leto is... start your own cult and just be a nice dude. Remember a couple of years ago, these photos dropped? The media went nuts about the idea that Jared Leto was building his own cult. It's not hard to believe when you see him all dressed up in white, looking like a classic cult leader surrounded by a crowd of followers. Especially when he posts, "Yes, this is a cult." It even hurt a bit when it turned out there was no cult. It was just an innocent improvised prank aimed at fake news, the internet and fanaticism all together. That was a good one, Jared. The photos were taken on a private island where 30 Seconds to Mars set up a retreat camp for their superfans. Cause Jared Leto, who calls his fans a family, just loves to spoil them. He talks to them in person before concerts.
Yeah, we're gonna give you a ticket. You can come to the concert, okay?
He takes heartfelt selfies with them. He invites them on stage.
What's your name? Yeah, where are you from? Owen. What's your name?
Natalia.
Now what the are you doing right now? Okay, I'll marry you too.
He throws spontaneous live shows for them right on a city bridge, borrowing a guitar from a random guy.
Okay, thank you for letting me borrow your guitar.
He video chats with them during lockdown. One time, some of Leto's fans sent him a real human ear. And despite the fact that even Jared found that Van Gogh move creepy, he paid respect to the significance of it by wearing that ear as a necklace. Aww.
I will go blind for Jared Leto.
But the Suicide Squad star does not only care for his fans. Leto volunteers in various parts of the world and donates lots of money to charities for those who are disadvantaged. He supports animal rights and has been actively fighting for LGBTQ+ rights. He's a global ambassador for the Worldwide Fund for Nature. And he even apologized to his neighbors for throwing a loud party by hand-delivering them pumpkin pies on Halloween. To put it plain and simple, Jared Leto is just a nice dude who loses Oscars, plays supervillains and weird outsiders, terrorizes his cast members, and appears at the Met Gala carrying his own head. That's the spirit, Jared. Keep on doing crazy stuff. The world loves you. If you like this video, check out what we've dug up about Eddie Murphy and Elon Musk. And stay awesome!